pleasure to welcome the guy standing here and patiently waiting for me to finish. Director Tudor Cristian Jurgiu.
Thank you for inviting us.
Do you have any questions just from the beginning? Probably not. Yesterday you told me that the film actually looks very similar to like how it was written in the script, more or less. So, what about the ending?
Oh, yeah, the ending not. The ending, everybody has a problem with the ending. I mean, not everybody, but most people have a problem with the ending. But I would really be curious to hear what maybe some of the people feel about the ending. Because the ending was not in the script. And we shot this after finishing the main shoot. And we had these days. And it was just something we did during the shoot. The little scene, the short scene of her and the other guy. So it was an extra scene, let's see. But talking not just about the ending, yeah, most of the script was like that, like it is in the film, except for some of the scenes. Like for example, all the scenes of Dudu, the little boy. I mean, most of them were improvised by him, so I didn't really have a text for him. And then also some of the scenes like in the cave, for example, when they're just sitting around. It was one of the first days of shooting and we went there and we didn't really have a script and a storyboard or whatever. But the atmosphere of the cave was really nice and I just felt like doing something really silent with them there, being a bit, let's say maybe a bit bored, but also a bit silent and feeling a bit, I don't know, weird and not talking and not laughing and not talking about stuff. And then we just started doing these close-ups of them just sitting there and looking at one another and enjoying like the atmosphere of the cave, which was a bit strange. And it felt like they needed to be silent, so that's what I did. And then other scenes. Yeah.
So the ending in the script looked like what?
The ending in the script was with the kids going away by train. That was the ending. It was finishing with the two kids who were taking the train, and that was it. But then I felt, after the first cut, we were editing during the shooting, so I just felt that we needed an ending with Flavia. So something more to understand more how she feels right now after the kids are leaving. So to say goodbye to her in a way. Even though the last scene, I know it's maybe a bit confusing, but for me not really. Because I felt I've been talking to a lot of kids that went through this situation and most of them had really bad experiences and I just felt we had another ending with the kids running on the hill and some rain in some puddles and it was really kind of more beautiful, let's say, and a bit more quiet, but I just wanted to have a kind of a more aggressive ending and to feel that she's like trapped in this kind of circle in which, I mean, she's not gonna be okay with Luca, she's not gonna be okay with probably anybody for a time. Her parents for sure. But I just wanted to see her not like crying or being depressed, but more active in a crazy way, let's say. And I wanted this scene in which she tries to keep climbing the hill and the other boy, which is the boy from earlier, I hope you recognize him, because he's a character that doesn't have any lines. So yeah, that was the idea with this ending. But yeah, if anybody, I'm really curious, yes, because a lot of people came.
Please wait for the microphone. That will be thrown. This is how it works here.
Oh wow. Nice.
Or not? Okay.
So
I would like to ask you for character of Tina, because it was very interesting character, and how you work with this actor, this young girl, because it was so strong and so authentic, and I am interested in if this her dialogues or her text was something what was in the script exactly, or it was also something on her.
Yeah, the dialogue was scripted. Most. I mean, we didn't really improvise for Tina. I had in mind a clear character like this, a bit naughty.
So it was very good casting.
It was very good casting. Yes, I wrote this and I had a clear idea of the character, and she was supposed to be like this, funny and a bit tough, and then we did a lot of casting and a lot in schools mainly, and some. There is this acting school for kids, and she was there. I mean, she had already, let's say, acted in one short film, in one exercise, let's say. So she had some experience. But as soon as I received the demo video, because in the beginning we just called for a lot of self videos, like a webcam or phone videos, and they did a lot, so like 150 kids. And the moment I saw this, she was like very good in that one also, because she was like, I don't really have time for this now, but I can tell you about myself. I play soccer and I like this and that, and I hope this is okay, and bye bye. And she was like, she didn't really care, and she had this attitude like she has in the film, and we were just okay, let's call her. And the moment we met with her, it was clear that she's gonna be Tina, because she was right on point with the character. And when we started doing rehearsals, the other actors, older actors, like her dad, that you don't really see in the film, but he is a real actor, so they were so amazed, because we didn't really rehearse a lot with her. The lines came very natural, because it was very, let's say, close to her character and personality. And she was telling the lines, and she was very authentic, and it was very easy with her, really. During the shoot, also, we only did like 2 or 3 takes with her every time. We never did more than 2 or 3. She was, she was a bit energetic, let's say, and sometimes she was. This was, let's say, making the other cast of the kids a bit shy, because she was always talking, and she would only stop when we said action, which was funny for me, but annoying for the sound people or other people on the set. But I realized that with kids it's very important to create the right atmosphere on the set, and at some point we gave up on giving commands. Like, I talked to my first AD and I told him, let's not say action anymore, and not say because it was really bad for the kids to have this kind of discipline, and I had a first AD who was really strong and a bit authoritarian, and it was really spoiling the atmosphere on the set. And I told him, no more commands, no more shouting, no more. Yeah, so it took a bit more time, but I think the kids felt more at ease and relaxed, and they didn't even know when we started shooting. Sometimes we were just rehearsing and we started shooting, and we didn't tell them. We just said stop, of course, for the. But yeah, she was great, and it was easy with her.
I have also one question regarding Dudu. You said that he improvising many times, and one scene during the night when he
sleepwalking.
Yes. How this was prepared?
We also rehearsed for that, and I just told him what the situation is, and he was talking whatever he wanted. And he was moving and doing whatever he wanted. But during the rehearsal, actually, it was better than the shoot, because that scene, we shot it very late at night, and he was very tired. And unfortunately, the schedule was not really good and wise for kids, and especially that scene, we shot it very late, like midnight or something like that, which was very late for him. And he was tired, and I still like it, but when we rehearsed, he was much more violent and funny and throwing things, but now he was really tired, which also, in a way, it's good. But he improvised what he was talking about. So, and I took some lines from other takes and used it here, so it's not exactly what he's talking about. But yeah, I would give him a situation and he would improvise.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Thank you. First of all, I really liked both films, and I would like to ask about the writing process of the film, specifically because I think in Slovakia we have like tradition of films talking about like gastarbeiter experience, but mostly from the point of people leaving, not from the people staying or like children that are left behind. And I wanted to ask about what was your thought process behind thinking of how much do you want to involve the presence of parents there? And yeah, also maybe the motive of moving through the train, through the like the I don't know how it's called in English, like the platforms that rotates the trains. Yeah. So so how did you maybe think about those motives, and mostly about how much the parents should be included there through the like videos and phones?
Well, working on the script came very naturally in a way, because I used to just meet these kind of stories everywhere. In Romania, it's very often that families are broken apart. So I had like relatives and then some students of mine. I also teach in the Romanian film school, some friends, and the stories were everywhere. And at some point, I just woke up thinking about this, and I said, okay, let's write them down. And so it wasn't like I need to do a film about a social problem and I'm going to do about this. It was really everywhere I met, and people were telling me stories. So I just gathered up and made like a mix of these stories. But then it was also about some really personal experiences. Even though it's about a social problem, I think some teenagers go through the same experiences even if they live with their parents. So it's not like they are very special because the parents are away. They go through the same kind of turmoil that the age just brings. So I actually started from some memories of mine, and my parents were not away. Like the scene in the train depot, it started from some memories. When I was like 10 or 12, we would go to this train depot and play there a lot in my hometown, which is a smaller town close to Hungary. And we would go there and have fun and play, and I just started remembering that, and then I just translated it to, let's say, they are older, but they still go there and they drink and they have fun. And I started from that. I think I wrote like 4 or 5 of the scenes before I started writing the whole script, which I didn't know where they would be in the structure of the film, but I just needed to write something about these characters to feel the characters. It's very hard for me to write a treatment and then start writing, because I feel very disconnected from the characters when I write a treatment, and I think only about the story and the social problem, and it becomes very abstract and very like a discourse about something. So I just need to write at least 2 or 3 scenes in which they talk and they do something, and then I feel I get to know the characters a bit more, and then I can build a story around them. let's say. So that's what how some of the scenes came. And about the parents, we decided very early on that we don't want. We actually wrote. I also worked with a screenwriter, and we actually wrote some scenes in which the mom comes back. But we wrote them just to get to know the characters better. But we decided very early that we're not gonna make any kind of. And I really wanted the parents to feel like digital ghosts in a way, just voices, and to feel very abstract in a way. Because that's how it is for these kids. I mean, the parents really feel abstract beings in a small, like she said, a very good AI could replace them in a way. I know it's cruel, but that's what they feel sometimes, and they told me this. So we decided this. We actually had a scene with the parents of the runaway kids who came. But we decided to take that out also and have no adults in the film. No, not present anyway. So just on the little screens.
How did your collaboration with the other screenwriter look like? Like, what was your method? Were you sitting together, or was it like more ping pong? Or
we were sitting. We would talk a lot, but we would write separately. So I would write this scene, and she would write another scene, and then we would meet and talk about her scene and my scene, and then we would change something, but we didn't actually write together, which I would have liked, actually. So I tried to force her to work like this, like write a dialogue on the spot, but she really didn't want to do this, and she felt inhibited when we were working together, I don't know. And I understood, and it was okay. Finally. But I don't know. I mean, there's so many ways in which people can work.
Yeah.
Could you talk about a bit more about these vertical video sequences, the football sequence, and then there is this like the Flavia is like talking to herself, or could you talk about how you use it and why you decided to include that?
Yeah, well, first of all, there were more of them to begin with. So only these were left in the final edit. So maybe right now they can feel a bit awkward because you don't have like anything coherent to link them to. But I decided to introduce the one with Tina, just because I wanted to see her alone without the other kids, and and I actually told her to film herself, and she did that all by herself without me. I didn't even know where she shot it. I just told her, okay, you're going to training. She's doing soccer, and just film yourself doing something. And she did like 3 or 4, and I chose this one, and that was it.
So you didn't direct her?
No.
Okay.
I just told her, okay, maybe you do a test. We talked about a bit. Maybe you do like a tutorial if you want of how to shoot, and she did it, and that was it. And it was very relaxing, not to control anything. So that's why I did it with Tina. Then with Flavia, I just wanted this scene in which she's very sarcastic towards her parents, and this fantasy of my parents are dead, and which is a bit funny, and for me at least, I don't know. Maybe the way I'm not very happy with those particular scenes, but yeah, it is what it is. Or you were talking that you were saying that it's a bit disturbing that it's suddenly vertical.
Yeah, I just feel like it disturbed me from the experience. I think I could do without the football scene.
Yeah.
And I think the Tina talking to Flavia talking to herself was good, but I think it could have been done in a horizontal video in a different scene somehow. But it threw me off because I was thinking that maybe I wasn't sure if she's sending that to her friends, like some sort of social media, or if we are building into something else that you needed it because of these video calls that you needed us to kind of get used to this framing.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering.
But I
what
think
was
that also the scenes with the mom are also vertical.
Yeah, I'm
Like
just.
the mom is
that's why.
filming herself in Italy. I think it's also.
That's why.
But there's different, yeah.
That's why I'm asking. Like, if you are trying to build if you wanted that scene with the mother and you needed all these other vertical video scenes to get us used to it, or what was the function? Okay.
No, I wasn't thinking about. I wasn't thinking so formally about this. I was thinking about what she's saying in the scene, and we actually shot on the horizontal also, but it felt very unnatural. And I think people now are really used to this kind of changing the format, and it's not really a problem. I think in the viewing, if what's happening inside the shot is good, I think that's more important. Maybe. Yeah.
Thank you for the films. I actually I saw the similarities between those two films, like in the way the relationships were, like the dynamics between them. So that was like interesting. But and regarding this last film, can you talk a bit about the sound design, because it was also really interesting how it sometimes went to this sort of subjective point of view in the sound, and like with the hair and like other stuff. So can you talk a little bit about it, whether you planned it before, or it came up in the editing room, or just in general?
Some of it was planned before, but I would say that more than half of it was not. We actually, after we shot, I worked with a sound designer from Bologna, from Italy. We had a co-production and we had to do the post-production in Italy. And he was really amazing. And we had time to, I went there 2 times, and we had time to go through the film and just have our fun with it and try all this kind of stuff. And I wanted, on the one hand, to try this kind of subjective perspective of her, and to make like scenes that are really, let's say, banal or normal, like her, and to give something strange and to create this anxiety that maybe she has when you're a bit anxious, and then your senses start to change a bit, and you start to hear things that you don't normally pay attention to. And I was trying to create this also outside in the street when she's alone after the market, and in other places, to create this like acuity, like she's very attentive to sounds because she's a bit anxious or a bit afraid, let's say. And then other scenes like the cave or like the beginning, and there we just wanted to make it strange, and we just made it strange.
I wanted to
Whatever
ask you about
point.
the cave. Yeah,
Yes.
like the cave sounds.
Yeah, the cave sounds, it was partly music that got, it was, in the beginning it was music, but then we destroyed it until it was not music anymore, and the composer was a bit upset, but I really didn't want music there. I felt that the sounds, it was better to have like abstract sounds that can work, and maybe they are similar with the cave, and then the whispering, the girl who was whispering, that was something we shot but we didn't put in the film, but we took the sound from that one and we used the whispering, and then some drops, and yeah, we had fun and we tried to make it a bit eerie and strange.
You succeeded.
Thank you.
And regarding the music, did you work with the composer like during the editing, or like after, or you
After.
said you changed
Yes.
something?
It was after, unfortunately. We had an Italian composer for the film, but the way we did it, it was like I had 2 days to decide, because there were papers that they needed to apply to the funding in Italy, and they said, okay, you have to choose a composer now. I had 2 days, and I didn't really know people. Afterwards, I did a research, and there are a lot of great Italian musicians that do electronic music, which I wanted. But then they coupled me with this composer who had done some films, and he's a great composer, and he also teaches, and he's really good. But we just didn't get along. So he did a lot of. We really tried to do it, but he would work with samples of violins and I don't know. I wanted something more electronic and synthetic and strange, and we didn't get along. So after we finished the edit, I talked to a friend of mine from Bucharest who also does music, but he's not a musician. And we just had fun there, and we built actually a whole. There's one song from the initial composer that's still in the film, in the train, but the rest of the music and the sounds was built with me and him, and it was nice because I could meet with him, we could stay, and we stayed like late in the night, we had some beer and we were trying stuff and do that, and let's take the samples from here and let's record now something, like the rhythm. And I need this to like stay and have fun. And with the other composer, it was also difficult because we only met once physically. We were working on Zoom, and it's horrible because I don't know, it's horrible. Yeah.
I see. But the film is not.
But the sound design, just to end with the question, I think the sound design really helped. For me, it helped to bring the film together in a way. So it's like a subway of the film that really brought together some of the scenes. And after I started working on the sound, I changed the edit also, because there's this stupid conception that you have to finish the image and then start on the sound, which is stupid because when you start working on the sound, some of the shots might feel too short or too long, and it changes the edit. Actually, I think you should work on the sound and the edit simultaneously, if possible. And of course, when you play a song on a certain shot, you maybe want to make it a bit longer or a bit shorter, and it changes. So, yeah, for me, it really brought the film together, and it gave it a certain atmosphere that was more coherent. And I think it helps a lot. Yeah.
The film is not very much narratively driven. Obviously, it's maybe much more about observations and so on. So did you encounter any problems because of this approach? I mean, like convincing producers or approaching fans and so on?
A little bit, but not too much, because I think the subject was everybody. On the one hand, some people were like, we know about this, it's good that it's a film made about this social problem, and on the other hand, some of them didn't know about this and were curious to hear about this. So it didn't really feel that something more needs to happen, but yeah, we had this problem, especially in the second part of the film. Everybody said, okay, the kids, they run away and they meet and there's a whole community, but what's happening? There's nothing happening. And yeah, I also thought about this, and I have my doubts about some parts of the narrative part, but I don't know. We didn't really suffer. I mean, we managed to get funding from Italy, from Eurimage and media, and because of the subject and because of the way we presented the film, and we did a little teaser that also worked, I think, very well together to get some money. And
during
also
development, during
yes.
development you developed the teaser?
Yes, we had like, which was not with the actors that are now, we didn't have a casting finished.
So what was the teaser?
It was with some actors, but not these, which I didn't use afterwards. But they were friends of mine, they just did it to help me. It wasn't like, they're not professional actors.
Yeah? Other question?
Congratulations.
Yes.
But I want to ask, I was a little bit shocked.
Yeah.
I was a little bit shocked what Romania looked like to me. But which city was it in? Or, I mean...
It's a small town.
Yeah.
It's a small town called Câmpulung. It's north of Bucharest, closer to the mountains, and yeah, a lot of small towns in Romania look like this. I mean, we didn't
Yeah.
shoot in downtown. Maybe downtown is a bit nicer, old buildings, and which are also not
clothes,
renovated. Sorry.
Clothes, how apartments were like, the whole situation
Yeah.
reminded me a lot, I mean, many years ago here. So it was fascinating. I mean, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if it was, you know, set up like that or if it really looks like this.
It looks like, I mean, the exteriors, we didn't do anything to the exteriors. That's the blocks, like the way they
Yeah.
are. We didn't work on them. We didn't
Yeah.
change anything. And the interior, yeah, we changed some, but not a lot. And I don't think the interior is so shocking. But the house,
It's different.
the house of look, I would found it like this. It was there was this guy who also traveled abroad, and he kept building on it and making a big house, but nobody lived there. His wife divorced him, the kids were away, so he was alone in this strange house. So it was good for us because he said, yeah, you can shoot however long you want. I have places to stay, it's fine. But the city, they really look like this. Yeah, the blocks and everything. It's easy to make a period film in Romania, actually, in the 80s or
Yes.
even 70s, I think. You just go to a small town, it's like that.
Very convincing.
Yes.
Any other question or maybe comment, thought, depth, note?
No.
So maybe two questions. One is back to the discussing like the social problem,
Mhm.
because do you keep track of like what's written about the film now? Because the theme of parents leaving for work and children staying there is obviously strong in the film, but I think that the decision to involve two children who ran from home kind of pushes the film towards completely different topic, which is like children from not complete families or like from the families broken by something, whatever it is, and that it's like focusing on this experience that is, as you said, maybe not specific to one group of children, or like it is not a singular experience of children whose parents are working abroad, but it's like, or at least to me, it seemed like exploring much bigger social issue than only this one. So was it presented like this during the pitchings, or do you know how is the film perceived now? That would be my first question. Or like
Yeah.
through what are people maybe writing about when they are writing about the film?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the film was just it wasn't released in Romania yet.
Yeah.
So probably after the release in Romania, we're gonna get more. So we just had the screening in Berlinale, and then one other smaller festival in Italy,
And then here.
and then here. Yes, this is the
Continue, sorry.
this is actually the third screening. So in the reviews, I don't think people talk so much about the social problem, because there are reviews written by foreigners, which they're like, oh, I didn't know this problem existed or something like that, but they don't really delve into this topic of the social problem. They talk more about the acting, the script, the story, and how it's a bit strange as a teenage film. And I mean, there were good reviews, and I like them, but they're not talking about this. They understand that there's a lack of communication, which is a theme that is not connected only to kids whose parents are away. I think there's this joke in Romania: the trauma is when the father goes away or when the father stays. So I guess I think it works for the mothers also. So I don't know which is worse, and that's why we wanted to introduce these kids who try to to get away from their parents. I mean, to have these kids like Flavia, who is missing her mom, even though they have a strange relationship, but she still, it's clear that she misses her mom and she really felt her absence and it did things to her. And then to have these kids who are trying to get away from their parents, in a way, to have this contrast. And I wanted Leah, the character, which you don't know anything about, because you don't know why they ran away from home, you don't know what family they're running away from, and we really wanted to keep it like that in order to emphasize this, let's say, this fantasy that Flavia has, because it's a fantasy. I mean, she's trying to build this fake family, surrogate family, and trying to play mom, even though she cannot do it. And these kids just fall out of nowhere. They just show up, and I really wanted to have this feeling that they just show up in order to fulfill this fantasy of hers that doesn't really go anywhere, because it's not like Leah refused. I mean, she didn't run from a family to just be replaced by another family. She really wants to be independent, and she doesn't want any kind of authority in her life. And I don't know if that's clear, but that's how we built this character of Leah. Somebody who doesn't even want to try to have a connection with her parents anymore. She just wants to be with her brother and be on her own, really on her own. And she's the most independent of the characters in the film. And that's why she refuses Flavia's little project, let's say. That's why she's a bit tough. And she mostly, and it was also an option not to have her talk too much, not to have any kind of explanation about her family. And she's like a bit shy and more interiorized. I don't know if I could say this. Yes, she's more, and you can only feel on her face some tension, and you can guess what's happening. I don't think it's hard to do that. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, I really liked the decision to write the story this way. So I was just curious how other people perceive it. And
some people hated the two kids. We actually had a review, a comment more, that said, I wish we stayed with the first group of kids. The two kids that came, they're really bad. And, you know, they were judging the kids. It was very funny. They're not grateful at all that these kids, these bigger ones, are taking care of her, and they're really bad. And then they just run away. It's so unpolite. It was very funny to see how people, you know,
bad behaving.
Yes, but.
And the second question was about writing humor or like performing humor, because both of the films I found there are like a lot of funny moments, either from like the situational humor or like from the facial expressions of the characters that create those like micro funny situations or moments. So I wanted to ask if this is something intentional in you directing the actors, or if this is something that came up maybe naturally during shooting, or if this is something that you are trying to think of when writing the script, that for the films to have maybe like the layer that is not funny is not the right word, but maybe you know what I mean, like
sarcastic
or like this ironic quality.
So the script was written with this in mind. Even Tina's scenes, I hoped they would be funny. For me, that it was very funny when I wrote them, and I was having fun with the character. She started talking in my head. I was really having fun writing for Tina, and then we met her, and for sure it was fun. And then with Luca also, because he seems like serious, but he's in a funny way serious. You cannot really take him serious, even though he looks like this. He's like muscle and but I really wanted him to be a bit funny and quirky, and I think it worked with him. Or the scene in the classroom where he says that he's beating his sister. it's a kind of sarcasm that I really enjoy, like making fun of stupid questions or stupid suggestions, and not taking it too serious and saying, oh, I'm not gonna beat my sister, just going the other way and saying, yes, I really kill her every day, and I think it's a good way to maybe not healthy way, but it's something I enjoy a lot in films in general. And then with the expressions, yes, I think from the casting, I tried to look for characters that, while they can be serious, they have something strange or funny in their eyes or their faces or the way they move. Like Luca, he moves in a certain way that it's a bit funny. You cannot really take him seriously. That's why she doesn't take him seriously as a lover, I mean. And I wanted that to have him be a bit awkward and not sexy. And for her also, when we were doing the casting, it was really important for her to be also warm, but also cruel, but also sexy, but also maternal, like to feel that she could want to take care of some kids, but also a bit childish. And I think Denisa has a lot of nuances like this. I mean, she can be in many kinds of ways. And when we wrote the script, we wanted this to have her be in many ways, because there are some teenage films in which the characters are the same throughout the film. They're crazy and they're crazy always, and they're like behaving the same way. And I really wanted her to be sometimes really mean, sometimes really sexy, sometimes warm, sometimes vulnerable or sad, and yeah. And the other characters also, I really wanted them to be really different from one another. That's why I chose Dudu and I chose the other kids. I think they're all different.
You say that you really have thought out these characters. How do you approach things that we don't know as the viewer? Do you know the answer yourself? Like, do you know why they ran away when you are writing, or do you know why from the first film why this couple has had this tension before we started watching the scene, or these situations, why and stuff like that?
For the short film, there was no backstory, I think the actors, they really got along very well, and they understood the script and the tension and the situations, and I think they worked out their own backstories, which I think is very good. I think it helps them to make their own backstories. I don't think that I have to come and tell you, okay, you did this, you were with somebody else like 2 days ago, and this happened, that happened, and it becomes very abstract for them. And it was a decision we made when we were while I was writing the script, that one I wrote on my own, and I really didn't want to give any reasons for the way they behave. I just wanted to see the effects of something that we don't really know. And I think it's much more interesting to see that than to have all the reasons and to say, okay, they argue because I don't know what happened a week ago, or she was with some other boy. And you can imagine a lot of things, of course, but I think the behavior you can understand, and you can empathize with them in a way. I mean, the way they behave, I hope not, but I hope you cannot empathize with them all the way. I hope it's not something from your experience, but yes. So it's a decision to build the characters like that.
Of course, I mean, the movies were great. I mean, like in your mind, if you know it.
For the feature one, yes, we knew exactly the background. We also wrote the scenes. There were some scenes that we wrote with the two kids at home, and the parents were behaving in a certain way, and the mother was really absent and alcoholic, and the father was a bit aggressive, but not towards the kids, but he was kind of a loser, and that's why she ran away. She felt that she had like great ambition from watching reels and stuff like that, and she wanted to go to Bucharest because she thought, okay, that's where everything happens, and my parents are losers, and I don't want to end up like them. I really don't want to be poor and end up like my parents. So that was her motivation that we talked about, and there was some scenes about this.
And but you want to leave us guessing why they ran away through the movie, yes?
Yes.
Yes. And do you kind of try to plant different ideas into our head consciously, or not really? Like.
Yeah. I want to give some direction, some maybe clues to what the family that they're coming from is, and I think there are some clues, but I didn't want to make it too clear. Again, we actually shot a scene in which the father came, and she told him all this stuff.
Okay.
I really don't want to end up like you, so please leave us alone. If you take us back, we're gonna run away again. So there's no point taking us back. And he just left. But it felt really awkward, and again, I just wanted to see no adults in the film.
I think you have done a great job. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
How was working with the child and teenage actors? And is there anything that didn't really work out?
I think the worst thing that I feel a bit responsible of is the schedule we had. As I said, I think I really didn't. In some days of shooting, I really didn't take care enough of the atmosphere and to maybe somehow change the schedule or just say we need to stop now. This is not going well. They're too tired to shoot, and let's just stop. And if we cannot shoot it, we cannot shoot it. And of course, we would have shot it somehow. But the producer was like telling me, if we don't shoot it now, we're never going to shoot it, which is a lie most of the times. But I sometimes gave in, and the most important thing is the atmosphere and not to exhaust them, because it's very bad when they're exhausted and tired. And they're not creative, they're not funny anymore. The scene where they meet the two kids for the first time, Tina is funny in that scene, I believe, but she was much funnier when we rehearsed. So that's something that I suffer, but it's something only I know. But she was also very tired in that scene, and she still did a good job, I think. But I think that's the thing you have to take care of, just create this atmosphere and not let. I mean, the professional way of shooting sometimes has this kind of very bad vibe. It's like a system, it's like a machinery that comes over, and you have to do it like this and screaming and stop and all this tension.
Yeah. So
and
how do you beat it? Like
you just don't give commands anymore. So no action, so no sound, no anything for the kids. And you just tell everybody to not show their tension or their stress in front of the kids. So even the gaffers or the electricians, I told them to get away if they were making stupid jokes, or because you say, it's not my job to. But the kids, they're there and they see somebody laughing and they think, he's laughing at me maybe, and then they feel shy. And you really have to take care of everything, and all the people that are on the set, they contribute to the vibe of the set and to the film in the end. So I feel that I as much as I could, I tried to have not bad vibes on the set, and tell everybody that was angry or had a bad mood to just go and calm themselves and come afterwards, which was also for me, because I think kids are really unforgiving. I mean, if you have some hesitations or you're a bit afraid or unsure, they really feel you, and they don't trust you anymore really fast. So you really need to fake it. If you need to seem like you know what you're doing, and be open emotionally, be emotionally available. Otherwise they won't trust you and they won't open up and they won't have fun. If they feel like you are closed in and really stressed and you're only caring about the shot and how you do it, they really need to feel that you are there with them And sometimes I wasn't even staying at the the screen, the video system. Yeah, I didn't stay there. I stayed with them, close to them, and I was talking to them while we were shooting, which was bad for the sound, but I wasn't talking over their lines. So sometimes I feel I needed to talk to them while we were shooting, and it helped them. I feel, I don't know, maybe they're not this crazy one to be talking to me while we were shooting. I don't know. I feel it's nice to talk with the actors while shooting. Sometimes it gives them a bit more energy.
And is this how you build authenticity? Because to me it feels the film authentic very much. And this is something that it's not like a priori automatically there. You need to create it as a director. Yes. So I don't know, how do you build it?
I think it's just this, well, firstly from the script and the lines, of course. But then from creating this atmosphere that allows them to feel free and to feel spontaneous and to feel that they can be at ease with what's going on. And I think spontaneity comes only if you create the right conditions for it. So you cannot think, I want to make it authentic, so I'm going to make it authentic. You just create this atmosphere, and I think that was it. Really.
Are there any other questions? I mean, we still have time.
And the DOP, he was also the cameraman, and he's great with kids. He also has 2 kids, and when I talked to him, it was really important that I don't want to see myself.
Don't look there.
Yes, I won't. But he's really good with the kids, and sometimes when we had close-ups, it's very important to have somebody behind the camera that the kids really relate to. And he was very funny with them and warm, and he wasn't like a professional kind of DOP. And he was really talking to them, and in a way, he also directed them. Because when you are really close to the camera, you have to make them feel like the camera is not there, or to not make them feel awkward about the camera. And the DOP was great. He's great like that with kids, and he has a good energy. And I mean, he was getting angry. I was getting. Everybody gets angry during the shooting, but you try to hide it as much as you can, and especially with kids.
We have very beautiful questions from online space. Are you happy in your life as a filmmaker? I love this question. Thank you very much.
I don't know how to answer that in my life. So in my professional life, yes, probably.
We cannot
yes.
ask
so
more.
I think they're connected. So it's not like they're connected, and yeah, I'm not totally happy. I mean, when can you be totally satisfied? I have my doubts about this film. I have some things, as I told you already, that I feel could have been better, and they really frustrate me. But it's fine. I mean, I have other films that I really hate, and this one, I'm really fine with this one. It's fine. And the short film also, I think it's my favorite of what I did, maybe. But you always have problems. I just try to go on. I don't know.
What else?
But I think, I can say I'm satisfied with this film.
But I would follow up on this question actually.
Yes, please.
How it is for artist filmmaker in Romania?
What? How it is to be an artist?
How do you survive as an artist filmmaker in
Oh,
Romania?
I have a job.
Well, you teach.
Yes, I teach.
But there are also other filmmakers, maybe, that don't teach. So what do they do?
What do they do? Let's think about some friends. Because, I mean, like Radu Jude is very famous and he doesn't need to work anymore. In the beginning, when he did like his first or second, he used to
filmmaking is also work, right?
Yes, a lot. But I mean, like a regular job.
Normal job, yeah.
So he doesn't need to have another job now. But he used to do commercials, a lot of commercials in the beginning. So some of them do commercials, some of them I guess that's it. Or they teach.
Stupid TV shows or like.
Oh yes, that also, yeah. But the directors, they do TV shows. They don't really, they don't really work on feature films.
And what
Oh,
about-
there's one that does, yes.
Okay.
So sometimes they do TV shows, but there's not so many TV shows in Romania, so that everybody can have a job. It's not like that.
Okay.
So I think I'm lucky that I get to work and to teach. It's very difficult. What can I say? So it's difficult for some people.
Are they paying you enough?
Paying me enough from the film?
No, the school.
The school, yes.
If it's enough.
It's fine, yes.
Okay.
For the work that I do, it's
So
fine.
you don't need to do commercials and stupid TV shows. You
No.
Okay.
But I also don't have a family, so I don't know. Maybe if you have two kids and a family, then things are a bit more complicated. But for the time being, it's fine for me, I guess. I don't know. But there's another friend of mine who also does films, and he doesn't live off the fees from the film. And he writes scripts for other directors, for example, and he writes for newspapers. He didn't study film; he's a journalist. So yeah, to each his own, I guess. It's not like a rule. Yeah.
Any other question? Maybe you can talk a bit about, I don't know, like Romanian.
Maybe they don't want to listen to me anymore. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Maybe
So
start.
about.
I mean, about the Romanian new wave, because I don't know, like some time ago,
Yeah.
Romania was very known for their films,
Yes.
and it was
The golden
such a
age.
good. Yeah,
Now
such
it's
a good-
downfall. Yes.
No, I'm not suggesting. I'm just asking if there is downfall or not, and if it's like easy to get money through the fund.
Not so easy.
I don't know. We have
because,
some problems in Slovakia.
Yeah, we
with
also
funds.
have problems, especially with the fact that they in the law there's supposed to be 2 sessions a year from the Romanian Film Center, and they always end up having 1 a year, and then they postpone it, and then the one from 2025 we have it in 2026, and it's always like that. They keep postponing, and now they're changing the rules and some laws, and everything is on hold, and yeah, this kind of stuff happens a lot, and it's very frustrating for people. Yeah, because you have to wait for a long time from the moment you finish the script till you do it. It's a very long time, and that's why people like Radu Jude, he just said, I mean, I'm gonna shoot on the iPhone, and I don't want to wait for the money from the Romanian CNC. With friends who are actors, and they don't get paid, and then they get paid if we sell the film later, so they sign these agreements, and he says that you just need to work, and I agree. But for me, it's not such a problem because I don't feel the need to work so often. So I don't have such a urge to do films all the time.
Because we have a good job.
We have a good job. I don't know. Just don't have so many things to say. Maybe I don't know. And it takes a while to write for me. I cannot work so fast. But with the Romanian wave, yeah, it was really helpful for my generation to have these directors like Cristi Puiu and Giu and Porumboiu who are famous all over, and then everywhere you went, they knew about the Romanian films, and they were always interested in what projects you have. So it really opened up a lot of avenues for new filmmakers, and I'm very grateful to them. And they also helped me on a, let's say, on a personal level when I started by giving me advice and talking, and they were all very generous with young filmmakers. Radu also, he's very open to like give you feedback even if it's really tough. It's like, what's this shit? What's this script? Why do you want to make this film? But then he helps you. You just have to get over that. And I do.
Okay, maybe it's last chance to ask something. I mean, Yes. Okay. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for staying and for coming to see the film and staying for the discussion. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
And see you soon.